All right guys, in this video today, I'm gonna give you guys the 5 easy steps to pick up a girl from a nightclub. Now, some of you guys come in this video, you guys are coming through to lower that percentage of yours. You guys wanna try to, approach a girl and get every girl to knock them out of the park and make every girl fall madly in love with you. Now, if this is your ultimate outcome, here's the truth of the matter. You're gonna get a way lower percentage than you would if you came through as a picky individual. All right, so if you're approaching girls from this mindset that like you just take any girl because they're attractive, and you think that every girl is the same way, that if they just found you attractive, of course they go home with you, it means you're not very experienced in this field. And as a guy that's extremely experienced in this field, I'll let you know right now, become the kind of individual that is picky. You want to go home with every girl. And sometimes like I'll go out and I'll go out just to have fun, just mess around. I wouldn't go out to with the intent of necessarily taking a girl home. I just go out because it's fun. I go out because I like kind of playing around with the social dynamics. I like playing around with the vibe. I like making friends. I like creating interactions from nothing. I like being able to mess around, create we frames, to introduce people to other people. I just like being a social, outgoing individual. I don't have like an outcome when I talk to a girl. If you're the type of individual that comes into an interaction, all you're thinking about is how can I manipulate her to like me? You need to change the paradigm real fast, because if that's your paradigm, your ultimate paradigm is to get the most amount of girls into you, this is the mindset that'll get the least amount of girls into you. This is actually gonna scare a lot of women away, and you're basically just playing a percentage game at this point, and you're gonna assume that you have no control over this outcome, that the outcome is something that is, how do I put it? It's just fixed. You're gonna get to a point where you just think that you can't get any better, that like you're just stuck with like the average girls. Now, if you wanna get those super hot and very attractive girls, these girls like guys who are also, just like them, picky. They will not just go home with any girl. All right, this is the kind of individual you have to become. Now, with that being said, let's get into this video. Now, again, I'm a very experienced guy in this field. I've been doing this for 11 years. So take this advice and really embody this, because this is gonna help you guys out massively. All right, now, the first thing is, step number 1, develop a healthy relationship with rejection. Now, what do I mean by this? Now, when it comes to this, a lot of guys get beaten into the earth because they come to this and they're like, well, if a girl approached me and she was hot, I'd of course say yes. So coming from this mind space, like you start getting rejected, especially when you first get into this, and you're like, oh no, it must be because I'm not attractive. It must be because I'm just not sexy. That's not what it is. Girls are made to be picky, and they're not picky based on looks. They're picky based on mannerisms, on personality. If you're the type of personality that's a high quality individual, and a lot of guys in the comment section below, if you guys have been in this for a while, let the others know exactly what this is. Please back me up in this in the comment section below. Like let them know this is a very common occurrence when it comes to like going on gaming for a while. If you're out of it and you're in a bad headspace, girls generally won't like you. Now, the other side of things, if you're a bad motherfucker, you believe in yourself, you come in, you're just like in this fucking zone, every girl likes you. Not necessarily every girl, again, we're getting into that part. Not every girl will like you, but the mass majority will. Now, on a big note too, some girls just, when you approach them, they're just in a bad mood. Their dog died, their ex just broke up with them, and you happen to look just like him. And so she'll harshly reject you and be like, not you again, you broke my heart, you bastard. And that's the worst. Now, girls get sex very easily, but they have a hard time with tying guys down. And that changes everything. When it comes down to this, it's a lot to do with just understanding that rejection is normal. And sometimes some girls are mistaken. Sometimes a girl, like, so let's compare you to a Lambo. This is the same story I give on this channel multiple times. I give it to a lot of clients in person. So if you've already heard this a million times, I apologize. But Lamborghini versus Camry theory. So the idea is like some people, like you think that everybody wants a Lamborghini. Like a Lamborghini is a great car, right? It's a high status car, but here's the truth of the matter. It's expensive, gets a lot of attention, it's fast, it's a lot of money in upkeep, and it also is impractical on gas. So why not get a Camry? Camrys don't get a lot of attention, they blend in, nobody like looks twice at one, they're easy to fix, then they're good on gas mileage. So most girls on occasion will be like, well, this guy's too cool for me. So why would I not just go for the Camry? Why would I not go for the Camry? And so they'll like turn down the Lambo for the Camry. So the first things first is rejection doesn't change your character. It's not based on who you are. People will change like their viewpoints on you and who they think you are based on this. Like you actually can dictate rejection. If a girl rejects you, is it a big deal to you? If it's not gonna be a big deal to anybody else. Rejection is normal. It's supposed to happen. If you're actually taking this shit seriously and you're going to a club to go pick up a girl and you're approaching, you're being that brave guy, that guy that trusts in himself, that has his own sense of self, that doesn't need others to dictate for him who he is, you don't give a fuck. You move through the world not really caring. And the more you go out and the more you go and approach girls, the easier it gets to like just not really care about rejection. The more you disattach from the rejection, the less it will happen. So a big part of this is let go. You, out of any guy on this planet Earth, has the highest chance of getting the girl in front of you. Why? Because you're the type of individual to watch a video like this, to actually take the time to do this. Most guys, they get an ego. They get an ego-based thing where they think it's all about this or all about that. And if they actually were to put themselves out there, they'd be utterly and massively crushed. So they take on jobs where they can like get girls to come to them, or they set up systems where like the girls will be brought to them, or like they'll buy hookers, they'll get on seeking arrangements, they'll get jobs where like they'll get attractive girls around them. And what you're doing is extremely scary for most guys. There's people that have gone to war and can't do exactly what you're doing. The fact that you're actually approaching these girls means that you're light years ahead of other guys. So the fact that you're actually willing to approach by itself is incredible. If you ever talk to a guy and he says he never gets rejected, the guy's a fucking liar, like straight up. Rejection is a natural part of this, and it's something that like every guy will go through if he does exactly what you're thinking about doing right now, which is approaching a beautiful woman in a nightclub. Now, the more that you let go of this, the more you don't really care, the more that you can learn to just accept rejection, the less it will happen, by far. It's about letting go. All right, let go of the rejection. It doesn't mean anything about you. The girl's known you for T-minus probably 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and she's rejecting you. And if that's the case too, it's probably because of what the past guy said to her over what you said. 5 guys before you were fucking weirdos, and now here you come, fucking Don Juan, sober and intellectual, and guess what? She's like, he must be the same as the past 5 guys, because people don't have the put the mental energy into like giving somebody their own personality and like vast history. So what she's gonna do is, this guy must be the same as the past 5 guys and just reject you based on that. The same way you would do the same thing. If you've been rejected 5 times by 5 different girls in the nightclub, you assume the 6th girl's gonna reject you. So in the same way, that's what she's doing. So you gotta understand, like, there's so many reasons why a girl will reject you. Most of them are not your fault. When a girl rejects you, it doesn't mean anything about you, all right? Girls don't base sex in relationships the same way we do. Their dating scene is completely alien to yours. And I can say that as somebody that has studied this intensely for the past decade, all right? Now, the next thing, set the tone the right way. Now, a lot of guys nowadays, especially in the seduction community, they push like getting physical with the girl in the club, making out with her to get to the end goal of hopefully, picking her up. Don't do that. Don't get physical with the girl in the club, all right? If you are somebody that has a hard time with getting the friend zone or creating a sexual vibe, start the interaction off with verbalizing that you find the girl attractive, because there's something in you that is afraid to actually express that sexual intent. So we need to break that thing first. The very first thing is we need to break that, get rid of that completely. We need to get you super comfortable with being a sexual entity. It just exudes through you. Now, this is where you burn the candle from both ends. So the ego always feeds the action, but the action feeds the ego. So I kind of filled you in on the ego part, the narrative. We need to get you comfortable with having sexual intent, which is starting the conversation off saying the girl's very attractive. But now what are the actions involved with this kind of guy? How does this guy move, speak, and talk? So set the tone, the very first thing. So obviously, hey, you're sexy. Premise, pause, and then the reason you're talking to her, hey, you're super fucking sexy, and I say hi. Now, what are the mannerisms? Now, the mannerisms are as followed. Eye contact. When you're trying to present an authentic character, the more eye contact you give, the better off you are. So if you're really punching through the wall with your energy, the eye contact will hit harder. And the harder the girl, the better off this will be. The better off this will hit. Breaking rapport. Breaking rapport tonality versus building rapport, a monotonous tonality. So, hey, how's it going? Building rapport, hey, how's it going? Break rapport with your tone. Now, the next thing is add a cocky smile. It's not over the top, like, supplicating, like, hey, how's it going? It's not like, that's a supplicating smile, and it's not suppressed where you don't smile at all. Hey, I thought you're cute. No, it's, hey. It's a little bit cocky, it's just right in the middle. It adds a cocky vibe to it. Now, put this all together. Hey, I thought you're super sexy, and I come say hi. That's pretty much all it is. Pause, eye contact, break rapport with your tone, add the cocky smile, and once you put all these things together, it makes the approach tenfold more powerful. Now, you got the ego, you got the action, this is the tone you set off first thing. Now, the tone oftentimes will carry throughout the interaction. If it doesn't, keep using the same exact tactics I just told you up front and put them throughout the entire interaction. All the mannerisms I just told you about, exude them through the interaction. Guess what? You no longer have to get physical with a girl. Now, here's the problem with getting physical with a girl in the club as well. If you do, you're going to set off the bells in her alarm that she already has you, and that she hangs out with you. She's going to feel obligated to sleep with you, which is not the energy you want to give. You're always a man willing to walk away, and you don't need to pressure a girl into sex. You're a person with options. You already have all the girls in the world. Why would you need to pressure a girl into sex? Most loser guys do that shit. You don't need to do that. So what you do is you make it to where she feels relaxed. Girls get turned on by being in a relaxed environment. It's an environmental thing. If you're in a tribe and everybody's relaxed in the tribe, it must mean it's a good time to bear children. So a girl's more likely to get horny when she's relaxed. No needed outcome. She's gonna be a lot more likely to want to have sex with you. Now, if you put throughout the interaction all the mannerisms I said in this part right here, there'll be no choice but her to be attracted to you. Like, there's gonna be no choice for her but to physically tongue you down. Like, she's not going to be friends with you if you're putting all this energy throughout the entire interaction. Step number 3, befriend the friends. All right, now befriending the friends is a big thing a lot of guys overlook. They're like, how do I handle cock blocks? How do I handle when the girl comes in and tries to steal her friend away? Now you have to look at the reasoning, like the reasons that a girl would do this. And I'll tell you them right now. The first one is that she doesn't want you stealing her friend away. She'll get lonely. She's gonna be in a club by herself. No, she's gonna blow you out, obviously, and like, drag her friend away. Number 2 is that she doesn't like the fact that her friend is getting flirted with and she isn't, so it could be a narcissistic codependent relationship. And so what she does is she comes in and ruins her friend's good time. Number 3, maybe her friend knows that your girl has a boyfriend, and so she rips her out of the situation to avoid her hating herself later, which is a good friend. Now, the way that you handle all these situations is you just make friends with the girl's friends. Once you make friends with the girl's friends, none of these things will be a factor. Like, none of this will be an issue, because they know that you're an empathetic, caring human being, and they know that you're sociable, and you care about their girl just as much as they do. You're not gonna do anything to make her hate herself down the line. So now guess what? Now her friends are on your side too. Her friends will start working with you. Her friends sometimes will even send you to go home with her because they like you so much. This happens all the time with me. If you can befriend the friends, which is a big thing a lot of guys that avoid in the club scene. A lot of guys try to get combative with the friends or try to do all these tactical shit. You don't need to. If you make friends with the friends, everything is it becomes effortless and easy. All right, next thing. Take your time and get logistics. Now again, girls get turned on differently than guys do. Girls get turned on like a knob, little by little, whereas guys get turned on like a light switch. So guys are like, if she finds me sexy, of course she wants to go home with me now, and they want to close the deal now because you guys are running on a time clock. Now, if you're the type of individual where you're faking your personality, yes, that is the case. If you're not who you're presenting yourself as, yes, you're more on the time clock, because as time goes on, the girl's gonna find out you're not this amazing, authentic, cool guy that you're presenting yourself as. But on the other hand, if you are actually authentically the person you're presenting yourself as, the girl will get more and more turned on by you as time goes on. So time becomes your ally, so you can actually take your time. So if you are the second type of individual, take your time. Next thing is get logistics. Where is she staying? Who's she here with? Does she have work early in the morning? Where's she staying? Is she babysitting her friends? Is she there for a birthday party? What's going on? Now, once you get all these, now you can assess how hard would it be for you to take this girl home? What do you need to, what are the obstacles that are need to be overcome for you to hang out with her that night? What do you need to do? All right. Now, the 5th and final step, baby step the pole. Now, this is something, because this is just more for a lot of the guys that are very fresh and new at this. A lot of the guys who have also been watching this for a while know this industry well, probably already can tell you what I'm about to say. Baby step. If you're trying to jump all the way back to your place all at once, it's a lot of pressure to put onto a girl. So what do? You take her around, you take her maybe to another bar, maybe you will go for a walk with her, maybe you take her out for food really fast. You take your time, because the longer you hang out there, the more she's gonna relax and get comfortable with you and get to know you. And then once she gets to know you, then having sex is a lot easier. But every time you take her somewhere, take her a little bit closer to your place. So then the next jump and the next step doesn't seem like such a big step and such a big jump. And never, ever, ever say, do you want to come to my place? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? Have something at your place that you can do to take the pressure off. Girls don't like feeling like sluts. So as a guy, if you had sex with a girl, it'd be cool, right? All your friends are gonna high five you. You're more of a player and a pimp. But when a girl goes home with a guy, she can be judged by society. A lot less so than used to be, but still to an extent. So what you want to do is you want to pay attention to this and make it to seem where it just happened, because otherwise the girl's gonna feel very slutty and then gonna feel shamed and judged, and this is a good way to avoid that. So have a reason to take her to your place that is non-sexual. Like maybe you have, maybe you have like a dartboard in your place, maybe you have a card game you can play, maybe you have a video game, maybe you have a great view, maybe you want to even smoke weed, something along those lines. Anything that's gonna like be an excuse for you to take her to your place without it being the answer of sex. Sometimes, yes, there are some girls that are more open to sex and that's just their tribal like standard. Like for them, sex is not a very big deal. But for the most part, just play this one very safe, play this one close to the chest. This makes it a lot easier when it comes down to taking a girl home. And with that being said, peace.